Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, the frequencies of the earth are changing at this present time. You can all feel it, of course, and it means that the Tibetan symbols that I normally use may not be as palatable to the ears as they used to be, as we become more sensitive and open to vibrations around us. So I've sourced a softer frequency to prepare and cleanse your reading. I'm using a Gaia chime, and this will cleanse hourly, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you're someone who is very sensitive to sound. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisceans, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask, how are you doing? So this reading is going to tap into what's going on with you right now, how you're moving through this time period, and of course, what lies on the other side. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisceans? What do they need to know at this time? Can you please show them the way? Okay, that is a lot of cards, and they all came out at once. It's almost like you are so fed up and you're like, there's the cards. That's how I'm doing right now. So I'm going to sort through these cards and see what's going on there for you. Okay, how would you like to receive? Okay, so we have the High Priestess, we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Lover's card here, we also have the Five of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, we got the Temperance card. How would you like to receive? Okay, we have the King of Cups. My gosh, you literally have your whole reading right here. I can't believe it. I've never seen anything like this. Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands, and Page of Wands. So I can see a lot of you are like drained. I feel like there is this energy of pressure here. I do see here that you're looking at the alternative path, but you're also reconnecting to a part of yourself that, you know, reignites that spark. So a lot of you, it's kind of like how your cards came out. You don't want to waste any more time. You're like, you know what, I'm done. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm going to do about it. And you're like locked onto something where you're walking away and, you know, you have no time for time wasters. So I'm really impressed with your reading and the energy, the way it's come out already. But let's take it piece by piece, okay? Now we have the High Priestess as your starting position. So this can indicate that some of you have been a little bit off-grid. You know, it's almost like you have one foot in your old life and you have one foot in a new life, and you're currently in a period of review, because this card can indicate that you are currently, you know, staying silent on something, or you are kind of like in between worlds, as it were, whilst you work something out. So I really get this sense here that you're trying to tap into your intuition. You know, you're basically feeling a bit cautious about the path ahead, but you feel something needs to change because you may have endured something that has been very challenging, and you know, a lot of pressure there with that Five of Wands energy. It could be a conflict between a person, or it could be that you're at odds in some way with something in your life right now, and you just feel like you need to make a different choice, or you want to transform in some way, because of course you have that Eight of Cups. And it's in the crossing position, so it's like, should you stay? Should you go? And we have the Lover's card there as well. Now, of course, the Lover's card can connect to people. It can be, you know, your soul tribe or a family member, or actually a partner if you're in a high-level commitment. But it could be that you're like contemplating something that is connected to the people that you surround yourself with, or it basically means choice. The Lover's card is the choice card, and this reading is not about things outside of yourself like people or situations or money or anything like that. It's basically about you, and I feel like you're making some big decisions right now, and you're fed up with sitting on the fence on something is what I'm getting here, especially with all of that energy. So, the High Priestess is a really important card because it means that not only are you in a period of review, I feel like you're basically asking yourself, what are you putting up with that you're fed up of from now? And it's like you're drawing a line in the sand. You may be looking at past situations that have caused you pressure or sadness or conflict in some way. And, I feel there is this energy of how can I do things differently, or how can I approach this differently? And I see a new mindset here, okay? The High Priestess is a card which basically it indicates that you're in a period of analysis, and you're tapping into inner wisdom at this time to really just figure out how you feel. We build a very fast-paced lifestyle where we're always on the go, we're connecting to something, we're always thinking about something. But I feel you're kind of trying to slow down in order to take stock. So I really feel there is this kind of like stock take of life going on here for you. And, this card can indicate that you're making some decisions by yourself. You're not really going to kind of tell people about it until you're ready to do it. This could also be that you're working on something behind the scenes, or you felt a little bit off grid right now, because the Eight of Cups and the High Priestess, very withdrawn energy. Okay, some of you may feel like you're going through this major journey of discovery and you're seeking greater authenticity in life, and you're just letting go of superficial friendships or circumstances, maybe even social media in some way. Some of you are kind of like just taking an alternative way of life or trying to make a major lifestyle change at this moment, and you're looking at what benefits you, because the High Priestess basically asks big philosophical questions like, is this for me? Is this not for me? What did I do yesterday that can inform my today and strengthen my present moment to enhance my future? A lot of you are also looking at what it is that you can cut out, because Eight of Cups means you're walking away from something, and it is in the resistance position, so you read the reverse as well as the upright. So with the reverse energy, this can indicate that, you're learning from the past. And it can also indicate some of you are returning home to self. Some of you may feel that you lost touch with a part of yourself, and you have got stuck in a position where you feel it's not like a solitary position. It just feels like life went super quiet, or things transformed and changed, and you're trying to make sense of a change. That's what I'm seeing there. And the Eight of Cups can indicate that some of you, and not all of you, of course, but there is this energy with relationships at the core of your reading, because this is the earthly plane position. So it can indicate that some of your friendships are called into review at this time, whether you feel like you're evolving away from certain people or detaching, or you feel that certain people have changed or are detached from you in some way. I feel like there is this energy of striking out on your own in some way as well. So I'm just feeling like you've got a lot on your mind right now, a lot on your to-do list as well. But the Eight of Cups is this journey of discovery and letting go in order to find out who you are. Whoever walks away on that Eight of Cups, they tend to walk into the Nine of Cups, which is more fulfillment. So for some of you, this can be that you're trusting your instincts on something. You may have a goal that you're locked onto, but in terms of getting there, there is this energy of like, not sure of the destination, if that makes sense. Because the Eight of Cups, the figure on the Eight of Cups normally walks away and is not sure of the direction, as it were. Now, looking at your energy, the Seven of Pentacles is telling me that some of you are contemplating an alternative path. Could be an alternative lifestyle for some of you, maybe a different neighborhood, maybe a different group of people that you want to get connected to. I feel there is this sense of purpose. You feel like you need to go off and do something on your own. I mean, this could be like a passion project, or you're currently in a period of re-examining where you've been and where you want to take life to next. And there may be certain situations or people who you feel are not going to take that journey with you, because you're deciding. You're in the hot seat here. here. And I feel with this Page of Wands, you know, there's this new adventure, this new beginning happening here for you. And I feel like you want more adventure. You're finding your purpose through something. Even though you may have locked onto a goal, some of you may have felt unmotivated recently, or drained in your energy, or just a little bit withdrawn from the usual stuff, because you're just looking at life in a different way right now. And you know, this Eight of Cups can indicate not just like withdrawing and taking stock, but also taking a new perspective and realizing something isn't working for you anymore, and maybe you needed to just step back from it in order to really think about it, really review it, until you decide it's time to move forward. And I do see this big energy here of change, because the Lover's card, initially it's the choice card, so it can indicate that you are making a major personal decision right now, and you're just taking stock of who you are, your motives, what it is you're wanting, which path you're contemplating, your values. And you know, I feel right now that you just want harmony, and I feel there is this protecting your inner peace going on right now as well. Now, of course, there's many different factors going on in this reading, because the Lover's card can also indicate that, you know, you're trying to follow your heart, follow your passions. You're also, for some of you, maybe even in a partnership right now. And with that High Priestess and the Eight of Cups, some of you are feeling either a shift in a friendship or a partnership, or it could be that you're cautious about opening up to love. You know, there could be a fear here of someone walking away based on a previous experience that you've had. But looking at the energy, I feel that, especially since you got the Nine of Swords, this could just be a fear, because I'm not seeing it presenting as, you know, something that's actually going to happen. We have the King of Cups here, so there's a lot of love. So if you are in a partnership with somebody, I feel this person really loves you, and you could actually reignite the spark in your relationship. But it would be really important to talk about your hopes and fears. And you know, the hopes and fear position is a Ten of Wands, so it can indicate with that Ten of Wands that the hope and fear is, you know, that either there's been some sort of conflict or challenge in this relationship or this friendship. I mean, when I talk about relationships, it doesn't have to be a romantic one. It can actually be someone who is constant in your life, a family member, or, you know, a soul tribe member, for example. Ten of Wands, it's like the hope and fear position. It's not in the actual outcome position or the near future position. It tells me that you fear that something will end, or you fear that something will like run its course, and you're protecting yourself. You know, in order to kind of like protect yourself from something that you feel might happen, there is this kind of like withdrawal. Okay, so I'm getting twofold energies there, so please apply it to your situation. I don't see this person or the situation going away. I see a lot of unconditional love with this person, whether it's a friend or a family member or even a partner. Some of you may have also just gone through a breakup. You know, what I'm getting there with that Five of Wands, there was some sort of rivalry, you know, almost like this competitive kind of energy, a lot of conflict. And, you know, if you have separated from a person recently, it can be that you're healing from this and trying to recalibrate your life. But I see you like having a spark with a new person. You know, you're calling in a soulmate if you're currently single. Now, this reading, as I said, is not about things outside of yourself, but I feel like you're making a big personal decision right now. And if you feel like you've been a little bit in hermit mode personally, and this can be not just in relationships, but just in life in general, almost like you're on the outside looking in right now, or you feel somehow detached or disassociated from situations, it can indicate that you have this desire to get more integrated in the community, or more integrated in your passions, or something that you want, because this can be a manifestation card as well. It can indicate that your heart is yearning for something that you feel that you haven't got right now, or you're not aligned with it at this moment in time. But I see for some of you with that Seven of Pentacles, you know, Seven of Pentacles is the evaluation period. It means you're dissatisfied with something, and the only way to really approach it is to have patience with it, but also kind of like talk it out, or, you know, face it head on in some way. So I just feel a lot of you could be really fed up with something. I mean, this could be a neighborhood. It could be, you know, an environment, your job. It could be that you need to hash something out with a person that you've had conflict with. For some of you, it could be that you want to, like, move abroad, for example. You know, the Lover's card literally means the things that you connect to, because it is a connection card. So I feel like you're making some big decisions right now, and you're in this period of review, okay? Now, the Lover's card, of course, is more than that. It can indicate that you're trying to balance out a very difficult situation. A lot of you may feel under pressure. You know, life has been very challenging over the last couple of years. I mean, it's always quite challenging, but it has ramped up that level of unusual tension and fear, and you know, sometimes it feels like things have turned upside down to some degree. So you may be trying to make sense of things and really trying to like just hone in a little bit more on the things that you love, you know, connect more to friends, or maybe even romance your life a little bit more, because you may have felt that somehow the things that you love, it's like they feel a bit different, or you're seeing things in unusual ways now where perhaps things don't hit in the same way. What I mean by that is, you know, the Eight of Cups can indicate that something that felt fulfilling at some point, whether it was a hobby, whether it was an environment, a home, you know, a relationship, a friendship, the Eight of Cups can indicate that it just doesn't feel the same anymore. So it's like you're walking away from it. Maybe there's even like a change of direction. And sometimes, you know, humans, they'll only really make radical changes when they're truly fed up. And the energy at the beginning of your reading is like you're done with something. So it could be that you're literally walking away from something, or you're letting it go. And I feel you need to move on from something. So I really get this energy that you realize something is no longer working for you, and you're just fed up of putting up with it in some way. And you're just kind of like, I'm done. This Seven of Pentacles is an energy here of like finding an alternative path, or even like opening yourself up to a new strategy. But the Seven of Pentacles can be like a fork in the road, where you're kind of like invested, but you feel it's not fulfilling in some way. So you're checking the exchange right now, and I feel you're looking at your plans, and it's almost like you're opening yourself up and developing things, maybe even behind the scenes, like secretly off-grid, working on something, whether it's a new lifestyle choice or a new approach to something. And I just get this sense of like, what is the alternative coming on in here for you? Because the Five of Wands, which is really positive actually, Five of Wands is in your past position. So this means conflict, or, you know, pressure. A lot of you are managing stress levels right now. This card can indicate the obstacles are being left in the past. Okay, so that is a very promising energy for you. But I do see a lot of you are drained, and you're trying to reignite that spark, that passion, that sense of curiosity and adventure. But when, you know, we all do life, for example, we're adulting, paying the bills and all of the stuff, it can feel like a lot. So with that High Priestess and the Eight of Cups, it's like you just want to like withdraw and relax and say, oh my gosh, it's too peoply out there right now, or it's just too intense, or everybody, no matter what you do, it always feels like it's not enough. And you feel like everybody's giving you some input on how to do life, or, you know, what you should be doing, or maybe if you tried this, and you know, they're like, there's almost this energy coming through right now of people, when they give their advice or their 2 cents, as it were, they're coming from a good place. Like they're speaking from their heart. They want to help. But at the same time, you may feel like they don't appreciate how hard it has been for you, or they don't appreciate you and your efforts. You know, sometimes it can be that no matter what you do, it just feels like it's never enough. Okay, so I'm just getting that sense here, but I want you to be aware there is a major breakthrough point here for you. Ten of Wands can indicate that you're a very strong person, and the struggle has been real, but it's over. And I feel there's going to be this point where suddenly you get this relief, or this freedom, or some sort of news comes in that helps you feel more excited or enthusiastic about the next steps. And you know, when you get your last card there, that's your outcome. Page of Wands is the catalyst for change. And I feel you're going to be more inspired. And this Five of Wands is really interesting, because the Five of Wands, if you know the Five of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there's 5 figures on that card, okay? And they've all got a wand. So that can indicate interference, everybody giving their kind of like, as I mentioned, 2 cents. And it can feel like a lot of pressure. You know, sometimes when you have like a social gathering with people, people sometimes. If you're single, for example, it could be a family gathering and they're like, oh, are you dating anyone right now? And you're like, no. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't understand why you're not. There's that lovely person, in town that I should introduce you to. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's just not that easy. Okay. And you just feel like everybody knows how to help you. But at the same time, you're like, well, that's not comforting, but thanks so much. You're grateful, but at the same time, it feels like it's interference, or it's kind of like not hitting a sore point, but it's kind of just frustrating, okay? It could also be that, if you work in a certain industry and people ask you how you're doing and you're like, okay, I'm maintaining, I'm sustaining, I'm, doing all these wonderful projects. I've got lots of opportunities coming in. I'm excited and I definitely am leveling up. And they're like, oh, but they don't understand your industry, or they don't understand what it is that you're doing. And they go, oh, maybe you should try this. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing really well, but you've just told me to try something else. It's just not even relevant and not going to help me. But okay, now I got to be like, okay, that's great. Yeah, maybe I should. Okay, I'm just getting that off your reading. So maybe some of you are dealing with that at this time. I do feel that this person or this situation, it's like you appreciate that they're trying to help, but at the same time, you're doing it your own way. Okay, so some of you with that Eight of Cups, it's almost like you're not meeting other people's expectations. You're taking a path that you feel is right for you instead, okay? And this is the one that is going to excite you the most and bring in the most success. But these are things outside of yourself. I want you to envisage the Five of Wands if you know it, or if you don't, look it up. On the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, they're all kind of like coming together with a wand, and it feels very clunky. Okay, so it can indicate that there's lots of things that you have to do right now and you feel kind of overwhelmed or under pressure, and it's a lot, okay? Because this card can indicate a lot of stress, or just, you've got so many things on your mind right now, but everything is taking shape because those five figures on that card, they're all trying to create a star. Now, the star is about wishes, it's about your dreams, it's about, healing. It's also about you aligning yourself with success. So, for some of you, if you've been on a healing path recently, it can indicate that you felt sometimes there's a bit of a setback. Sometimes we actually have that inner battle where we remember the past, there's nostalgia, and it feels like a setback or a conflict or an obstacle that we can't get past. But I definitely see you breaking through that at this time. And if you feel like things have been kind of challenging with people, I feel a lot of you are trying to honor people's differences and accept that everybody's got an opinion on something, but at the same time, you're going your own way. You're doing your own thing. So I really get this sense of freedom and the freedom to succeed. I mean, even if, because this reading's not about projects, it's not about career, it's not about anything outside of yourself. If you've got family members, for example, if you're retired, it can be that you're off doing your own thing, but everybody's got an idea of what you should be doing, or is kind of like not honoring the fact that especially if it's children, for example, it could be grown-up children who are fussing over you, and you're like, you know what? I'm a grown adult. I had you, I guided you to be the adult that you are, and it can be like, it's a lot. It feels like interference where everybody's kind of like saying, oh, you should be doing this. It's comforting to some degree, but also it's fussing, and you may be feeling like a little bit of conflict and saying, look, I'm doing my own thing, okay? And I feel like you're doing it no matter what other people think. So there's something like that coming through right now. It may not resonate with everyone, but actually I see that when you do your own thing, people are going to celebrate you. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, really random reading. This is probably not going to resonate with everybody, but it's something that's coming out, so I have to honor it. But I really see here that the pressure will be off, no matter what pressure this is. For some of you, this could be pressure of life. Okay, or bills, or, work if you're in a career, or even if you're currently out of work and you're currently looking for work. There's a lot of competition, there's a lot of rivalry. It can indicate, that there is a job that is being lined up for you here that's really exciting. But with the Eight of Cups and the Page of Wands, it feels like some sort of course correction or some sort of new environment that actually you can migrate skills to, and it just feels exciting. So I feel there's just this energy that some of you are doing something radically totally different, no matter what that is. Could be a lifestyle choice, could be a new job, could be a new environment, new home, maybe even going overseas. I just feel like you're in a very curious, adventurous kind of like mindset right now, because you feel the way things are. I feel there's this energy of you feeling a little bit fed up or stuck, okay, or really reviewing things. Don't get me wrong, I feel like you've come a long way. You're someone who's established yourself at being quite successful in life already, and I feel like you've worked really hard for the life that you've built, okay? Seven of Pentacles indicates you've invested a lot, and you may feel there's slow progress, or you may feel that success is always delayed, for example. But the Seven of Pentacles actually means that you're like maturing to the point where you're not afraid to admit something's not right for you, or it's no longer meant for your path. So I feel a lot of you are kind of like reimagining life right now, and I feel like you're either taking more risks or being more bold and daring, or reigniting that passion, that spark, rewilding as it were. With that Seven of Pentacles energy, I feel this is the alternative path. So some of you can kind of like, it's almost like you're fed up with the way things are. So therefore you're like, well, what else? Okay. So it could even be that you are fed up of going to the same places in your neighborhood. It can be that you're seeking things outside of your usual parameters and saying, okay, there's a new bar across town, or there's a new community event going on that's new and different. And I just feel here that a lot of you are working really hard in this present moment so that your future self will thank you. It feels with that Seven of Pentacles that everything that you are investing in your life right now, whether it's self-development, whether it's financially, because, you know, Pentacles, of course, with the Eight of Cups there, it can indicate that, especially with the High Priestess, some of you fear losses, especially in the economic volatility market that we have right now. You know, there's a lot of ups and downs, but it can be that, you know, with that Temperance energy, there will be a balance. You know, this is you safeguarding what you have. And of course, it can create fear or pressure, but I feel a lot of you could be enlisting some sort of practitioner or someone who has qualifications that can help you in that financial arena, because we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Temperance, and the King of Cups there. This is someone who, you know, really cares about their job. This is someone who really cares about helping people, someone who can, you know, make a very sort of like fair assessment of your financial situation, whether it's your 401ks, pensions, you know, or whether it's your bills. You know, I feel this is about you safeguarding your financial future and being stable. So a lot of you have a lot on your mind right now, because the High Priestess is a cautious card. So it can indicate that you're being like vigilant in life right now about something. And the Eight of Cups can be about you looking at alternatives, having a plan B, for example, for some of you, or kind of like deciding to go elsewhere, because the Eight of Cups is a travel card. So it can be that you're actually going to a new environment, or, you know, you want to explore a different way of approaching something, and you may be feeling a bit cautious about this move or this trajectory, but actually you're going to love it when you end up there, because it gives you a new sense of adventure. It also opens up a whole new world for you, and it's the start of something really exciting and very prosperous is what I see there as well. Seven of Pentacles indicates slow steps, you know, building slowly. Also with finances, it indicates, you know, slow and steady wins a race. Pooling resources, being able to save a little bit each time, it will build into a lot. So I'm just getting this energy here of you kind of like keeping things at an even keel, but not getting locked into something that is a habit or routine that feels dull and boring and makes you feel stuck. So I'm just getting this energy of course, you locking into your sense of purpose at this time. And again, you know, it's not that nothing's happening. I feel like you're super busy, but I feel with all the cards that are popping out here, the Temperance card, the High Priestess, the Eight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and the Lover's card, which is a choice card, these are all review cards. So it indicates that you are on the precipice of making some big decisions in your life, and you're actually making the right decisions. I feel this is a card that basically indicates, you know, make the decision from your heart, because, you know, then you will see everything that you love to achieve in your life be reflected back towards you and be delivered. Because I feel with that Page of Wands, something is being delivered to you that, you know, will literally set your soul on fire and even reignite that spark. So if you feel a part of yourself has been missing, or you've been dormant for a while, or you haven't been your usual self, as it were, I definitely see here that you are reconnecting to things that you're passionate about. And the Temperance card is like you're taking flight. I just get this energy of you spreading your wings and flying on something. So this could be a new endeavor that you're launching, could be a new project, a business for some of you, whatever it is. I don't really want it to be things outside of yourself, but I feel a lot of you get pulled outside of yourself to think about, you know, the busyness or how you're utilizing your energy or channeling your energy. But at this time with that High Priestess and the Eight of Cups, you're called to sit with self, to learn more about yourself, develop your intuition, maybe even implement some sort of ritual or routine that develops and enhances your spiritual gifts or your intuitive leanings, shall I say, there. And I feel like you're actually going to have a breakthrough in that as well, with that sitting with self, meditation, you know, quietening the inner critic, but also quietening the mind, and having this period of stillness will really help you hear your heart. And this Temperance card, you know, it can also indicate, because of course it means patience, but I'm getting, you know, this evaluation, trying out ideas, but also a lot of you, it's the flow of energy and focus. So it could be that you're compartmentalizing what's important to you right now and focusing on those projects first, and everything else will fall away. And, you know, you'll come back to those things. But I feel like this is a period of not overwhelming yourself and taking a step towards something is what I'm seeing. But also because we have the High Priestess and the Temperance card, this can be very psychological energy, very cerebral. So some of you, it could be that you're going through a period of psychological healing, for example, you know, looking at the pressures or the conflicts that you've been through. I mean, the last couple of years for humanity has been very challenging, and it can be that it's only now that you're really reflecting on perhaps the damage that these things that occurred happened, and, you know, how they influenced not just the economy, but also the human psyche and your relationships and friendships. And it can be that you're just taking stock, you know, a review of everything that has happened to date right now. And you're just like kind of moving through this period and kind of like coming out the other side. You know, some people, it's taken a long time to make adjustments, and others, you know, they've just powered on through. And I feel like you're a person who's just powered on through. But at the same time, I feel right now, it's almost like this thing coming up and you thinking about it and thinking, whoa, that was a lot. And you're someone who's a very strong person, but you may be looking at the changes and kind of like, you know, it may have put you in some sort of fight or flight mode where, and I feel this may have happened for like humanity at large, like what's the plan B? What is the preparation for if it ever happened again, for example? But I don't see any of that happening in your reading. I want you to be aware of that. What I see here is you kind of like being very strong and trying to contemplate some sort of new start or new way of living. Okay, and I feel it's a very balanced decision that you're going to make here, and it's one that sets you up for a win, is what I'm seeing. So trust your instincts, really dig deep for answers. I always say that, you know, if you've got things that you have to decide, always imagine yourself in the next 5 years living with one decision, what it would afford you in life and how you would feel, and then weigh it up against you envisaging what the other lifestyle or the other choice would lead to in 5 years. And that normally will give you like a viewpoint of what life could be in both circumstances. And the one that like gives you butterflies or lets your heart kind of sing with joy, of course, it's a no-brainer. That's the one that you're going to choose. And I do see a lot of opportunities coming up here for you to live the life that you've aspired to, especially with that Page of Wands. But this is a very explorative phase for you. There's a lot of energy going on in your reading. So perhaps you've had a lot of thoughts on your mind, you know, going a mile a minute, all the experiences you've had, the pressures, how hard it's been, and the decisions you have to make. I mean, for some of you, it can also be that you're in a very competitive arena in life, or you feel that someone has always tried to compete with you in your family, and you just want peace, you just want harmony. But I see here, if you are in a competitive environment, I see you like opening up towards a win in some way, or even being respected for how far you've come and the challenges that you've faced. I mean, the King of Cups, look at that face, beautiful face, so much experience, so much empathy, you know, very sensitive. You've been through some stuff, and this is your advice to yourself in this moment. Even though you've been under pressure and had some hardships, you're not allowing life to harden your heart. You know, I feel like you're walking forward with an open heart. Yes, you're protecting it, but at the same time, I feel like you've been through some stuff and you still respect all beings and honor each person. I mean, a lot of you, if there has been conflict with a person or a situation, the Five of Wands, especially in the past position, it can indicate that you seek to understand why there's conflict or why there's differences. You know, I feel like you want answers. And with this card, I mean, it is indicating that you're called to follow your heart at this time. The wisdom will come from your heart. And I feel there is this energy here with you having a lot of experience in life and being someone who is all in. You know, you put everything that you've got into your dreams and your goals, but also into the life that you aspire to have. And you know, I feel there is some really good karma coming back to you for actually having the courage to follow your dreams, to follow a path that perhaps other people don't normally follow. So I do see this energy of you being a maverick at this time. Now, I'm just going to pull a quick card on that King of Cups there, because this is your advice to yourself in this moment. Surrender to love or follow your heart, you know, and it will lead you to the place that brings immense joy. So a lot of you are trying to implement self-care routines and really feel fulfilled inside of yourself. And that's why I feel you have a very rich inner world at this time, okay, that your imagination is kind of like running wild so that you can actually reignite that spark for like life in general and be curious again. Allow your playful side to come out. And a lot of you, because you do have with this King of Cups this kind of mature energy, with that page there, some of you could be doing some very intense inner child work at this time. You know, inner wounding. A lot of you could be getting closure on some very challenging experiences or turbulent experiences that perhaps you had on your journey. It doesn't have to necessarily be from childhood, but because you have that Page of Wands there, I feel it's almost like you're going back to your inner child and setting them free in some way and saying, you've got this, you're very strong, and you know, you're someone who is capable, and you're going to go through some challenges, but you've got this. And I feel, you know, you're coming out the other side changed and really proud of yourself in some way. So I do see this energy of release going on. This could be an emotional release during this period, but also with that Ten of Wands, I do see a lot of you are exhausted because, you know, you have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders. Life is tough, and it can indicate that some of you feel this heavy energy at this time. But I do see you looking at things that perhaps may be draining you of energy and removing yourself from this. And the Page of Wands indicates that there's going to be more vitality, more energy, and you being more excited, you know, in life. I just get a lot of you feeling that the time is now to be a little bit more spontaneous, you know, to take more calculated risks in life. But we have the Hierophant there, and we have the Three of Wands. Now, with the Lover's card on the earthly plane position and the King of Cups, this can indicate if you're single, you're ready to fall in love. And I want you to be aware with that Three of Wands, this can be that you're looking at the alternative path, because this is, you know, in the future. It is future visioning, shall we say, with that Three of Wands. And we've got the Hierophant there as well, which is the marriage card. So Three of Wands can indicate that you'll be in a group of people where you meet a new person that is really going to have that spark with you, that chemistry. So this can literally mean that you're about to meet a soulmate. So, you know, with that High Priestess, it can indicate that you've surrendered to a solitary energy. The High Priestess is solitary, so it can indicate that you're single at this moment in time, but you may yearn for a long-term relationship or a companion. And, you know, with that Eight of Cups, you may feel in the arenas that you've been searching for love, perhaps they're not yielding anybody who's suitable for a companion. And the Three of Wands can indicate that moving outside your usual parameters, you're actually going to meet a person who really fits, okay? Also, For some of you, if you've been going through a separation, this can indicate that a lot of you are processing and healing and kind of like wondering, where did the love go? Or, you know, how you're going to move through this, and kind of like envisaging a new life for yourself on a different time and a different pace, and kind of like honoring your own needs and setting yourself free from that past situation and moving on. And I definitely see here that you will love again. So if you're currently going through a separation, that may not, of course, make you feel any better right now. I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love, of course, if you're going through a very challenging situation or breakup there. And, you know, the healing process will take as long as it needs to take. So honor that about your journey of discovery, because I definitely see here it's going to spin you off into this wonderful journey of learning more about yourself and choosing a path that is right for you. And, you know, I feel that you're going to meet authentic people and authentic situations where, of course, it will lead you to meeting a person who will be your companion for life. So I want you to be aware of that at this time. But also, these energies with the King of Cups, I feel a lot of you, this is kind of like the inner battle, shall we say, between a traditional lifestyle or, you know, settling for a comfortable kind of way of living. And the Three of Wands is also like, I want to come out of my comfort zone. I actually don't want to stay too long in one place. I want to move. So it doesn't have to mean physically moving, of course. It can be that, you know, you're planning to do something bold and daring or outside your usual parameters, and, you know, you will have the stability of the foundation that you've already built, shall we say, because the Hierophant can be traditions or conventional energy or expectations. And, you know, sometimes we go through life and we accomplish so many things, and I feel like you're very established and accomplished at whatever it is that you do, but it can indicate that when you've reached that milestone, you expected it to feel a certain way, but maybe it doesn't feel as fulfilling as you thought. Maybe it feels empty, or perhaps this new way of life or this new way of seeing life is making you feel like actually there's more to life than just this. So again, I feel it's really coming back to this sense of the alternative for some of you. So really random reading, of course, may not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor it there. Now, what is outside of yourself? The Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords can indicate that, you know, there is a lot of fear or this kind of energy of feeling haunted by something. So please apply it to your situation. It's not going to resonate with all of you, of course, but this can indicate something's on your mind or something causes pressure. And that can be that, you know, there's been some shifts going on in the world. You know, it can be that you're thinking about the future, because the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Wands are all about thinking about the future. What is lying ahead, you know, and it can indicate that with that Nine of Swords, sometimes we build fear in our mind, because swords are all about the mind, thoughts. It can indicate that sometimes we feel a bit stuck in a rut based on our fears. So I definitely see that you're releasing yourself from fears at this moment in time. But also, because the High Priestess is there, a lot of you are calling into review the way that you talk to yourself in your inner world, the way that sometimes you may tear yourself down or, you know, be a little bit harsh or critical on yourself. And this is really a call to have more compassion, especially when, you know, you have that inner conversation with self sometimes. So that's something that's coming up strongly there. I feel like you're catching it, you know, before you do it, and it sets you free. I feel you'll have a lot more confidence, and it's almost like your thoughts are more supportive as you go through this next phase of life. Now, the Nine of Swords can also indicate sleeping patterns. It can indicate some of you have been getting, you know, a bit of a, how can I put that? Not a good sleep recently, shall we say. Maybe you're burning the candle at both ends, or you have a lot on your mind, especially before bed. And this can cause, you know, either a sleep that when you wake up, you feel drained, for example, or I feel you have a very strong connection to manifestation, and your strongest time for manifesting is just before sleep. Okay, that's what I'm seeing in your reading, because a Nine of Swords is there, and that's always connected to bedtime. The same with a Four of Swords. And, you know, this can indicate that this is when all your worries come into review, the thoughts about the world, conversations that perhaps you had with a person about 4 years ago, but you reimagine it like you said something else, you know, that you perhaps felt you should have said. But the Nine of Swords, it's telling me that, you know, quietening your mind at bedtime will give you a restful sleep, but also envisaging your future on how you imagine it to be will actually help you manifest it quicker. Okay, so visualize the lifestyle that you want as if you're living it right now. Imagine it's like a memory, because when we're about to fall asleep, we tend to go through memories of things that happened in the day or last week or last year. We also think about the things that maybe we need to do that we feel like we haven't done yet. But I feel this is about clearing your mind in order to reset for the next day, but visualizing the lifestyle that you aspire to like you're living it right now. And you'll see the universe match the vibration, because this is a card of connection from the heart space, visualizing something that you love that actually will transpire over time and start coming into your life. Because pages, they are offerings. So I feel, you'll be offered something that you're really enthusiastic about. And, the Page of Wands is a free spirit. So a lot of you, this is, again, coming back to wanting to be more independent, more decisive, take more risks, and, keep life interesting. Variety is the spice of life. So, the Nine of Swords energy can also indicate that there's a fear of loss, or some of you may have even been going through a period of grief or depression recently, and you've been very cerebral and just thinking, what? Is it going to change? Are things going to change? And I'm not medically trained to talk about that, but I do see with that King of Cups energy, you could actually partner up with a practitioner who is very compassionate, and they can identify what it is that has been changing your mindset or giving you low morale, or perhaps draining your energy. For some of you, because the Eight of Cups is crossing, it could be a hormonal thing. Anything connected to cups fluctuating. It can be perhaps there is an imbalance there, because you do have a Temperance card, which is coming back into balance. For some of you, it could be a vitamin deficiency with that Seven of Pentacles. It can indicate that one of the vitamins is low, for example, and it could be that you need to just reinvest with that vitamin and get back into balance there. So I feel a lot of you are looking at yourself, body, mind, and soul, but also I feel like you're looking at a decision that you have to make, and you're making the right decision. So there's nothing to fear there, and you're making the decision from your intuition and your heart space. Now, the hope and a fear is the Ten of Wands. So this can indicate that either you fear the end of something or you fear the beginning of something, because it's a card that you basically have in the reverse as well as the upright in this position. But also I'm just getting this energy that if you've had a conflict with a person, some of you may feel that if you don't speak your truth on something, perhaps you'll burn a bridge. It just feels like there's a burning of a bridge here. Okay, and what I'm getting here is that you're so fed up with something or somebody, and there's just something that you have to say or articulate, or perhaps you've tried that and it's just not worked, and this person's just not getting it, or this situation is not getting it, and I feel like you've had enough. Ten of Wands is enough. Okay, so it can be that things got critical in a situation, or you're walking away from something because you're fed up. For some of you, this could be that either you've walked away from a job or a relationship or a friendship or a neighborhood because you feel it got too intense. It just got too much. The Ten of Wands can also indicate that some of you are feeling stuck in a rut and there's a need for change. You're so ready for change. You're feeling restless, and a change of direction is on the precipice for you right now. But it can feel draining because you're about to make a decision and make an adjustment, and you're not sure, if you're doing the right thing, or you're not sure if you're heading in the right direction. But I feel like you're channeling your energy into something positive right now. And of course, this can also be that if there's someone who triggers you or likes to push your buttons, the Ten of Wands can be that, you're deciding that you want to channel your energy positively and not engage in conflict. So you've withdrawn in order to protect your inner peace, and also to give the relationship or the experience or the event or whatever it is a breath, so that people can contemplate, review what went down, and really try to find a solution. Because some of you, there is this energy of you can heal a rift. Seven of Pentacles is, can we save this? What's the alternative? Walking away forever? So some of you, if you have been going through a conflict with a person, perhaps the fear is walking away from something forever. You know, if some of you have been fearful that either you've lost your job or you're fearful of the economy and things are a challenge right now, and if you are in a position where, I don't see it in the future, I want you to be aware, this is a hope and a fear. You have two fear cards here. So if you have come to this reading and you're currently out of work and you fear that, you know, it's going to be challenging and perhaps there's going to be no opportunities for you, I actually see that there is an opportunity coming in, something that like breathes new life into you and you can transfer your skills. And it feels like you starting from scratch in some area, but actually you're starting from experience. So it just feels really exciting is what I see. But whatever it is for you, it's going to be different for everybody. So please apply it to your situation. I see a new start here for you. And also I see a recovery. But, you know, the 10 of Wands with the High Priestess can be that you're taking a break from something. So some of you could literally be contemplating taking a sabbatical or taking a break in order to pursue your passions. Some of you may be, you know, even taking like a couple of days off or a week off to do something creative. Maybe go on a vacation. You know, sometimes when we take a break from something, we start to see where we're under pressure. We start to see what's not working. We start to see the things that we really want to connect to that we feel are missing in our lives. So I feel this respite, this break, this review period for you is really going to help you connect more to adventure, reignite that spark, rediscover parts of yourself that perhaps you feel have lain dormant or you've kind of like put to the side because you've had a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You know, the 10 of Wands is responsibility. It means you've got a lot going on right now and you're exhausted, but you're nearly there. You're nearly at this, you know, success period, as it were, because the 10 of Wands goes straight into the Page of Wands. So you're having a breakthrough. So the thing that you've been working so hard to achieve, whatever that is, this is it being delivered. Pages bring news, and I feel like there's some sort of news coming on in here because this is your outcome position that frees you. Okay, it's good news. This is the herald of good news, the potential or the catalyst for change. So whether this is you going on a new adventure in life, a course correction, whether you are kind of like just exploring your options right now, you're going to be so excited about the outcome. You know, I feel also this ambitious energy rising within you, and I'm getting this vitality, you know, this new energy. You're committed to something, and I feel like the universe is supporting your direction. And, you know, I also see a lot of you, you don't look your age. You know, you're really young at heart, but you may have felt that, you know, life has been a bit hard right now, especially with that 5 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot going on right now, and you're trying to do something. And whatever that something is, I feel it actually gives you this new lease of life when you've accomplished it. So it could be hard and it could be pressure, but actually it's going to be worth it. And I feel right now with that 7 of Pentacles, you're assessing what is worth it and what is not. You're looking at life in general and seeing what is worth your time and your energy and what is not. And you're so fed up with accepting something the way it is, you feel the only thing to do right now is change. And these are the catalysts for change cards. So I feel like you're freeing your spirit in some way, or you're becoming more of a free spirit. And you don't really think about what people think about you. And, you know, I feel like you are kind of like locked on to what you care about and what you think about you at this time and prioritizing your own needs. It's like you're literally taking charge of your life. I can't believe the next card that you got there, because this is what your whole reading has been about. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know where this reading is going, but I'm just being given this energy and the cards are telling me this. But this card literally says you're taking stock of something. It says, take stock of the situation before making a decision, but you're standing firm on it and you're in a very powerful position. It says spiritual power and weight. And you got another 8 there as well, okay? 8 is the number of the self. So you're being called to take stock of that situation before you make a decision. But when you do, it is the right decision and you're going to be so excited about the outcome, okay? We also have, my guys want me to go again, so I will. We have clear target. Clear target. And it says here, Someone has chosen you and it's coming in fast. So choice made, serious intent, and the hunt. Now this could also apply to you, that you've decided that you want something. Remember, you're locked onto a goal. You may not know how you're going to get there, but the universe says, trust me, I know the way. So opportunities are going to manifest for you to get whatever it is that you want. But also I feel this is you being chosen for something, either a calling or a relationship. Also, it's your choice too. I feel like the things that you're choosing are choosing you back. The thing that you seek is also seeking you at this time. And, you know, whatever it is, I feel you're making a decision and you're going to hit your target, whatever the target is, okay? We also have prayer. So it says here prayer, okay? So you may be trying to manifest something or ask the universe for something, even omens or signs. But it says here, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe and it will be yours. And it says devotion, pleading, faith. I mean, for some of you, you may be rediscovering your faith or deepening your faith and your sense of beliefs and values there as well. My readings are not really about religion, but it can be that you are, you know, deepening your traditions and, you know, deepening your sense of value and your belief system in some way, reconnecting and having faith and watching, you know, your faith support you in some way. But it is number 17, which of course is a star energy. So I would say, you know, a lot of healing is happening here for you, but also I feel the opportunities that you've been asking for will be delivered to you as well. Now we also have the bird who has eaten cannot fly with the bird that is hungry. Okay, now I did mention earlier, some of you, it's like you're ready to sort of like spread your wings and fly. Okay, so what I mean by that and this card, it can indicate that perhaps, you know, you are trying to do something bold and daring and you're hungry, ambitious for something. And it can be that, you know, your friends are kind of settled or comfortable in their position and they're not as hungry for something as you are. So, you know, they may not understand where you come from or appreciate what it is that you're about. It can indicate that some people don't want what you want, and whatever it is that you want, you know, you can't really surround yourself with people who are not kind of like as ambitious or hungry as you. So maybe that's why you have to go off and do something on your own. Like, for example, and I'm just giving you this as an example. For some of you, it could be that you have a project that you need to work on, but you love spending time with your family and friends, of course, and it's important to honor that time because memories are important. That's what we're here to build and have connections with people. But at the same time, you may feel you have to go off on your own, withdraw from, you know, your nearest and dearest in order to work on this project. And sometimes it may make you feel guilty, or it might make you feel like you're missing out, or, you know, you're like, oh, you know, there's just never enough time in a day. How do I find balance between the thing that I want to go off and do by myself, but at the same time spend time with everybody and make sure that, you know, you have duties. So it can be that you have an inner battle or a conflict with that right now. And it's really about utilizing your time and your energy efficiently to also get the best out of life for you, okay? So that's something that's coming out there as well. And finally, we have cut away, cut off toxic relationship situations that do not positively serve you, detach, break up, sever, and disconnect. And I feel, looking at your energy, there's definitely a lot of that going on, that you are looking at reciprocity, you are looking at the nature of relationships and withdrawing from conflict or drama, and basically trying to find more peace of mind or protect your inner peace at this time so that you can accomplish great things or live a life that you aspire to right now. So yeah, I hope that resonates with someone out there. I do see some great things coming in. I see some great adventures happening for you as well, and feeling more inspired with a lot of vitality, and you're locked onto something that's quite exciting for you as well in the future. Some really great news. We have a big yes there. Okay, yes is very positive. So maybe some of you are saying, you know what, I'm going to say yes to more things. I'm going to be open-hearted and, you know, basically embrace all that life has to offer. Because look at that figure. That figure is literally saying yes. You know, but also they have their arms wide open to everything that is about to come in that's positive. And I feel like you're claiming that. I really feel that there is a release here and an excitement. Now we also have a rainbow, okay? Now the rainbow, of course, can connect to the different elements of something magical. Rainbows are rare, and you're a rare person as well, but it can indicate a rare opportunity is coming your way, and it may have taken blood, sweat, and tears for it to be accomplished. You know, if you think about the nature of a rainbow, there has to be rain and sun, okay, for it to intermingle and refract the light so that we see the colors of the rainbow, for example. So some of you, you know, you have the swords there. That can be the equivalent of rain with that 5 of Wands. And of course, you've got the Page of Wands there as well, which is more like opening up to the sun. So you're choosing to cut away anything that hurts, but you're embracing more positive things, but also something that was a challenge. You're going to see a reward in it, and a unique opportunity kind of spins on in because of it, if that makes sense. And whatever decisions you're making, you're definitely making them from the heart. But also, there's 2 hearts entwined there. So some of you, it could be that you're talking to your partner or to your family or your nearest and dearest about some sort of new start or new endeavor, or, you know, perhaps there's a bold new adventure ahead for you all, and you're talking about it, really reviewing it before you take that first step. But it's going to be very rewarding and very enlightening, and I feel like you're going to love it, whatever it is, okay? So I'll leave that there. Of course, that reading may not resonate with everyone, but I hope it does resonate with someone out there. And thank you so much, my beautiful Pisceans, and love and light.